Down to the last unit today. Okay, we're going to talk about information systems, and I'll run through the objectives here in just a minute. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about systems. Systems exist in which there are many subsystems that function typically to accomplish some goal. Okay, the goals can vary a little bit, but typically there is some particular goal. So what I'd like to use as an example for this is a human. Okay, we have the circulatory system, we have a nervous system, we have a digestive system, we have, how our body is built, we have the nervous system, and so forth. So we have all these systems working together to, mostly for a human, to sustain life. Okay? And then systems have warning. Okay, so let's say about noon, what does your system tell you to do? Well, most of us, it tells us, well, maybe you should go eat. And so then the system wants you to eat, and so if you don't eat by 12:30, you die. No, we know that isn't true because the system warns us ahead of time before we die. If you go out and let's say you start running, you're running and running, pretty soon part of that system figures out, okay, we're going to have to aspire in order to keep your temperature down. And it just does it. It does it for us. Okay, where are we going here? Let's talk about this up here. This group of objectives is just to help us understand how in business now we can take data, convert that into information that allows us to run a business or to manage something. This data then related to information. And to understand this, we need to talk about levels of management. Okay, so we have these levels of management. And then we have various levels of information. Okay, so we will talk about, I'll make that red. So we have transactions that fill this database, and then we move that information up, and maybe we have some type of reports, and we move it up to where we say here, this is how the store is doing as a whole, whereas down here we're talking about the nitty-gritty. Okay? We're going to talk about the relationship between information and the decision making. Okay? So we have this hierarchy of management. We have really kind of a hierarchy of information, and how does this management use this information in order to make decisions? Then we talk about technology, huge nowadays, and how information systems are developed. Okay, we'll talk about two different ways, a fast way and the long way. We'll talk about bottom-up, top-down systems. Then, one of my more favorite parts, we talk about coding. We'll actually practice. We'll do an hour of code in the online and the face-to-face classes, and we'll talk about coding. We'll talk about terms here people should understand because of the vast use of software. Remember, software is the key. You can always find hardware to run it on. We like kind of hardware, but the software is what gets the work done. Then we finish up with some artificial intelligence items. Okay? So, one more example, something that might fit under artificial intelligence a little bit. We currently have, okay, if you have a newer automobile, that has a fairly sophisticated information system in it so that it can look behind, and if there's something in the way, it can stop. Some of them can look ahead and actually warn people if something's up ahead of us. It's like our human body, kind of, okay? It appears to be thinking. Now we know it's just technology doing it, but it's a system that tries to function and make us and the people we're driving with safer. That's just another example. So this will lead us into the unit. That's it for today.